All right, hello everyone, and welcome to the very first Children's Medical Services webinar presentation of our new web correspondence application module. My name is Brian Quintero. I'm the Chief of the IT section here in the CMS branch. There's a lot to share with you this morning, but first I need to go over some of the features of the webinar and the ground rules for this session. This morning we'll be presenting the training demonstration of the web correspondence module. The presentation content is very similar to what was presented during the live web correspondence training held here in Sacramento last week. If you're properly connected, you'll be able to see the demonstration as it's presented by listening to the presenter real-time via the conference call. Since we have a large audience and are somewhat limited on time, we'll be keeping everyone muted until the question and answer period towards the end of the webinar. What we'd like to have you do until then is submit questions by typing them using the text question feature of the webinar software. We have Tone monitoring the questions as they come in, and he'll be able to answer your questions and respond real-time via the chat box. He may also interject and repeat the question for the whole group if it's relevant to the current topic. Some of the questions may be saved until a question and answer period at the end of the presentation. When submitting questions, have your lead attendee type and submit the questions for your group, and we'll respond accordingly. At the end and during the question and answer period, we'll try to utilize the raised hand feature of the webinar software. On your control bar, you should see a small hand with an up arrow. If you'd like to raise your hand, you click that button, and we will call on you and give you the floor, and you'll be able to ask your question. We will try to address everyone's questions as much as possible, but during our testing, we experience background noise, and folks tend to talk over one another, so we're trying to do everything we can to prevent that from happening. If we somehow do not get to your question today, please feel free to call or email the help desk or one of us, and we'll try to help you out as best as possible. This session is also being recorded, and we hope to have it available for download so that you can view it again if you missed the presentation or use it as a training tool for future reference. We're working on the technology to compress the recording and make it available on the website. We don't have all the bugs worked out yet, but if we're unable to offer it via download, then we'll give you instructions on how you can request it, and we'll make a CD copy or figure out other means of getting you the recording. And the recording would be packaged in a format that could be played with any Windows media player. Since this is our first webinar, we wish to learn as much as possible regarding your experience. We hope that you fill out and return the eval form that has been emailed to all the lead attendees and hopefully everybody else. If you've not received an evaluation form, please inquire with your lead attendee for this session. As many of you know, we've had our challenges and delays with this module. At this point, our scheduled implementation date is sometime October of this year. The version you'll see today is in our training environment and is not our final product. Our developers are working long hours to deliver the finished product. However, bugs and latency issues still exist in the version we're presenting today. If we encounter any of these issues during the presentation, please bear with us. Our presenter made it through all the training sessions last week and is a pro at working around any of the glitches. With that said, our presenter today is Julie Rundle. Julie's been working diligently on web correspondence for the past several months. She's led almost every aspect of this project, from requirements gathering to testing to developing the training curriculum. Last week she led the live training session and did an outstanding job. Julie, please take it away.
Welcome everybody to the first webinar session to cover the web correspondence training. I would like to cover what will be the agenda for today. We'll be the first section, we'll be covering the first and second section, and we are going to be following the manual. So if you have a manual available, we're going to be starting on page 5. The first section, section 1 and 2, we'll be talking about the tour homepage, reviewing the letter statuses, the search options, searching by quick searches, county, patient, and advanced searches. And we will also be covering the search results by navigating, sorting, printing, attaching to a web message, and going back to the search screen. The next section, section 3, is generating a series letter from the CMS Net legacy system. We will be covering creating a series legacy letter, an application letter, and we will be going through what will be retained and how the history and ticklers and the batch correspondence will continue to work. We will also be talking about sending a series letter from the legacy and then viewing it through the web. Case notes will also be affected, and we'll be covering that briefly. From the web, we're going to be covering how to select a letter, review the carbon copies, and viewing and printing a legacy series letter. The next section, section 4, is generating a miscellaneous letter. We will be going into the web and selecting a client, and then we will be generating a miscellaneous letter. We will be reviewing how to select carbon copies again for a miscellaneous letter, what the features are within that option, and viewing and printing a miscellaneous letter. The next section is section 5, which is generating a NOAA from the SAR system. There have been many changes to this feature, and we will be covering how to edit the letter, how to review the carbon copies, viewing and printing, and the new improved NOAAs. The next section, sections 6, 7, and 8, we will be covering modifying an existing letter. That we'll be covering how to edit a letter that we generated. We will be covering how to cancel a letter. We will not be covering reissuing a letter due to the fact that it hasn't been developed quite yet. We're still working on that feature. The next option is the letter approval process. That is an optional feature for counties. At this point, we have only 2 counties that are even interested in this feature, but we are going to be presenting that today. We will be covering the setup process, assigning approver through user security, and generating a miscellaneous letter, free text letter, and then we'll be running it through the approval process. So I'm going to be showing you how to generate that free text letter as the originator, and then I'm going to be switching roles and becoming the approver and showing you how the approver approves the free text letter, and then back as the originator and showing you how it is finalized. And then at the very end of the session, we will open it to questions and answers. Okay. Again, if you're following along your manual, please turn to page 5. And some of the features of the web correspondence module is that you'll be starting the process of the legacy letters in the legacy as you do today. The difference is that now to finish a legacy letter, you will need to go to the web, and that's where you will print it, and you will edit it, and you will be able to finish it. One of the biggest changes that you will find is now there is a status for every letter. And one of the reasons why we've implemented this is because now letters are being routed. They start in one application, they end up in another application, and in order to track it, we required to have a status. The other reason is we decided to have a status because of the new approval process. So that is a big change that's you will be seeing. The other major change is that now SAR letters that are now pulled up and viewed through the legacy system will be now viewed through the web. So you will be able to go into the web, be able to start the process from the web, and finish the process through the web. The other change is that the miscellaneous letter option that is in the legacy system right now is going to start and end through the web. So everything from beginning to end on miscellaneous letters, these are letters that are not tied to an action, will be through the web. Okay. The other change that you're going to see is that to edit, cancel, and reprint and reissue letters are going to be done in two different places depending on where you start the letter. If you start a letter, a legacy letter, you've started the letter in legacy, you will reissue and cancel that letter through legacy as you do today. That process will not change. But if you've generated a letter through the web, you will reissue and cancel the letter through the web. So that is another major change. And last but not least, the approval routing. And we will be walking through that, which is a major change from how we currently do business. Okay. To get started, the first screen that I'm going to cover is our home page. This is brand new features that we have incorporated. And as you can see where my cursor is, all these new features tell us where our letter has been or where it is going. These are new statuses. It is for these statuses here are for the correspondence module. Each of these are the statuses. Up here is for web messaging. These are called quick links. Quick links are going to be used more and more through our web, our CMS web for user ease. We're going to have one for follow-up. When we develop follow-up, we'll have a quick link. We're going to have them for appointment scheduling. That's going to be coming down here pretty soon for LA County. And hopefully you'll find these features easy to use. The one way to get to correspondence is to click on the hyperlink right here called correspondence. And you can see you put your cursor on it and it changes colors, and you click on that and you'll go directly to correspondence. The other way you can reach correspondence is by going to the CCS modules, bringing your cursor down to where it says correspondence, and again it changes colors, and clicking on it, and again you will be able to reach correspondence. So you have two ways of accessing the correspondence module. The other new feature with this home page is this new feature called Homepage. This Homepage allows you to get back to this quick link screen no matter where you are in the CMS web features. And any of the, whether you're in authorizations, you're in case notes, no matter where you are, you click on Homepage, it will take you right back to this screen. So hopefully you'll find those features helpful. So let's get started. We're on page 7. We're going to be talking a little bit about the letter statuses. As you can see, we have several new letter statuses, and those will help us determine where our letter is in the process of being completed. So the first status is incomplete. These are letters that are started through the legacy but have not yet been completed. And what I mean by completed is they have not been saved, they have not been edited, and they have not been printed. So they will come when you start them in the legacy, they will end up here. And you will see a letter, a number in your number box here between the parentheses, and you will be able to click on this incomplete letters and get to all the incomplete letters that you have processed from the legacy system. The other option is ready to send. That's the second one. Ready to send are letters that you have generated through the legacy system and you have saved them, or through the web, and you have saved them but you have not yet printed them. So one of the nice benefits of this feature is that now you will be able to see when a letter's been saved. You'll have a date and a time of when it's been saved, and you will have a second column that will show you when the letter has been printed. So that is brand new and hasn't been in place currently in the legacy system. So that is brand new. The next option is sent. That is a letter that's been completed, it's saved, and it's printed. And you can search by these statuses as well through the search screen, and we'll cover that in a little bit. The next option in the manual, it shows submit for approval, number 4, but we want you to change that to waiting for approval. We are going to be making some changes to this manual probably within the next week or so, and we'll get a new version sent out. Waiting for approval are letters that require approval that have been completed by the originator and have been sent to the approver for approval and have not been approved yet. So that's a new And it is, these are actually showing on the screen as letters waiting for approval right here. The next option is number 5, canceled. These are letters that have been completed, saved, and printed, and now you wish to cancel these letters. You will be able to click on the cancel feature in the web, or you'll be able to cancel them through the legacy, and what you will see is a new canceled watermark that will show up on the letter at the top and the effective date of the cancellation. That is brand new. The next option is 6, reissued, which works as it does today. It would cancel the previous letter in the series, and then it will reissue another letter with a new letter number, and it will have a new status as reissued, so you can see when the letter has been reissued. Okay. The next option is deleted. These are letters that have never been completed, so they are incomplete, ready to send, and it's submitted for approval but not completed yet. And these letters will have a new watermark that says deleted across them and have an effective date on them. So you will always be able to track and see when those letters have been deleted. You won't be able to see the letter, but you will always be able to see when a letter's been deleted. The other option that's not in the manual yet, but it is on your homepage, is letters waiting for my approval. And these are this option will show for anybody that is an approver. They will see the options letters waiting for my approval, which will have a number in it if there's a letter that's been sent to them for their approval. So it's a quick link for them to be able to work all the letters requiring approval. Okay. So that is all the statuses, and at the bottom of in the manual on page 7, you can see what letter actions can be taken based on the status. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and click on correspondence. Oh, sorry, timed out. All right. All right, so this is our new search screen. We have several different ways that you can search for a letter. The first option, you can search by a quick search option at the top here. You have incomplete letters. If you click on that, you will see all of your incomplete letters. Ready to send, waiting for approval, or letters waiting for my approval. These are letters that you sent out for approval. These are letters being sent to you for approval. Ready to send are those that have been saved but not printed, and incomplete letters that have been generated by the legacy but not completed yet. So those are your quick search options. Another option is by date. Now, the date range, I can see counties that are larger counties that do like batch printing at the end of the day. We felt that this would be a real benefit to those counties that would have their users save the letter, and then at the end of the day, somebody would go in and print all the letters that have been saved. You would select, as you log in, it will default to your county, and then you state the date range of the letters that you want to print, and then all you have to do is scroll down here, click on search for existing letters, and it will print all those letters that you have generated and saved for the day. They're all in ready to send status. The next search option is search by patient. There's several different ways to search by a patient. You can either enter the last name and hit enter, and it will bring up your results screen, and you can select your patient that you've identified by last name by clicking on it and clicking continue, and it will bring it up. Or you can enter the CCS number and either hit enter or click find, and it will automatically bring up your client as well. The feature of being able to enter the number and press enter is a new feature, and we hope that makes it easier for you, more user-friendly. That works on all of these fields except for the 2 drop-down fields, the gender and county. Okay, so another feature is that if you have multiple patients listed here and you only want to search by one, you can unclick one of the patients, if you want to search by just a single patient, you can do that as well. Okay? Now, let's talk a little bit about advanced search options. And if you're following along in the manual, we're on page 10. If you click on the plus sign next to advanced search options, it says expand details. If you click on that, it shows you additional search methods. Another way you can search is by entering the user's last name. Last name, hit enter, and it automatically starts the search. And you can select the user, click continue, and your user will automatically show up below the search boxes. The other way you can search is by correspondence type. Now, some people know the numbers of the letters, some people do not, but if you do know them, you can, if you choose, just enter the letter number, hit enter, and it will bring up all the letters associated to that letter number. Okay? This is going to be changing to the word continue, not to confuse the users. Okay. The other way you can search for correspondence type is entering a short description of a correspondence type, like so. Hit enter, start the search, and again, it pulls it up by the letter name. Okay. So the last but not least, you can search by letters. Go ahead and remove my patient. All you have to do is click on the X to remove a patient. You can click on a letter status to be able to search for a certain letter in a certain status. So in this case, I'm going to search for all of this patient's sent correspondence that I sent. I click on search for existing letters, and it brings up all of the letters that I have sent that are for this client. Okay? So that is how the advanced features work. The other feature, go back to our search screen, is that if you wanted to clear out any search information that you put in, all you would have to do is click on the clear, and it would clear out any of the previously selected search criteria that you've entered. So in this case, if I just click clear, it'd clear out my name, and it would clear out just the sent. So let me go ahead and show you how that works. And as you can see, it's cleared out my patient, it's cleared out my name. And so then you can start from scratch by searching by another client and new search options. All right. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and put my client back in, and I'm going to show you how to view. I'm going to view all existing letters for this client, the search results screen. Okay, this search results screen, some of the features are that you can sort by any one of the columns by clicking on it, by created date. Well, I've got all the same dates in there, so you can't really tell. By printed date. Any one of the columns can be sorted. The other feature is that if you click on any one of these boxes, one or more, you can just print them without viewing the letters. You can just automatically print them, like so. Click print. This is the training module, so it's a little bit slower. And it will show the letter, and all you have to do is click on your print icon, and it will automatically print it. Go ahead and I'll close my pop-up box. The other way that you can print or the other feature you can do on the results screen is you can select a letter and click on attach, and it will automatically attach it to, oh, I must have two selected, automatically attach it to a web message. Let's close my pop-up screen. All right, so those are some of the features of the search results screen. The other feature that I'd like to show you now is to be able to actually go into a specific letter. So if I click on the hyperlink under correspondence description, it will automatically bring up the letter for you to view. And then, as you can see at the bottom of the letter, you have the ability to print it, again, this individual letter, or attach it to a web message, or go back to your search results screen. So that's also a feature of the search, of your search results screen. So I'm going to click on the back button, go back to my search results. Maybe not. Okay, took it back to it. Okay, now, okay, one of the things you will notice is we're working on some testing, and one area of testing that we need to work on is that this is showing multiple of the same letter, which we're going to be working on that the next couple days. But you can see who the letter is addressed to, and you will be able to see the addressee as well as the address of the addressee and who was created by and that it's in sent status. So that is our new search results screen, and if you're following along with me on the manual, I'm on page 16. If you wanted to see additional letters, you could click on the number to go to the next page. If you scroll down to the bottom of the screen, or you could click on last and it will take you to the next screen of letters. If you click on first or previous, it will take you to the previous screen. So it allows you to jump around on the search results screen. Okay. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and jump ahead here to page 21. Since we've just now covered the search sections 1 and 2, now we're going to move on to section 3. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize my screen. I'm going to go into the legacy system. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to generate and start a letter from the legacy system and finish that letter in the web. So what I'm going to do is generate an application letter. So I'm going to select Event Tracking, select Application Status, enter my client, and I'm going to generate my first application letter. As you can see, it looks exactly the same. It's going to behave exactly the same as well. So I'm going to go ahead and select Save. And this is a new message you will see. It says, you need to complete and or print correspondence type C36 in the web-based correspondence module for patient and the patient name. I'm going to go ahead and in order to start the transaction, you have to press Enter. So the last screen you should end up on is always your branch menu. So from here, I'm going to go over to my web. I'm going to click on my home page, and you will see there is one incomplete letter waiting for my processing. I'm going to go ahead and click on Incomplete Letters. And there's my letter that I just generated from the legacy system. Now, as you can see, this letter is shaded here. It's shaded on this result screen because you need to complete the letter before you can print it or attach it to a web. So it forces you to actually go in to the hyperlink and select the letter and edit it and complete it before you print it or attach it to a web message. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the letter, and it brings me to the Edit Correspondence screen. As you can see on the correspondence field, it actually shows the letter, but it's grayed out because the field is not editable. It is a reference point to know which letter you're working on. It shows your address to, it shows you the date that the letter was issued, and the correspondence number. As you scroll further down on the page, your courtesy copy history is showing with the name and an address. If I want to add courtesy copies to it, I click on Add Edit. This is a new feature, and you will be seeing this feature now in all of our web-based systems, including the SAR system. Okay, so you can select any of these courtesy copies. Now, the one thing about the courtesy copies that we've changed is that the other addressee field, the healthy families field, and as you can see, managed care is not showing, are not going to show unless the client actually has those in their record. So in this case, I can tell by this field being displaying here that this client has healthy families. Okay. Today for the webinar, I'm going to just click on County Office, and I'm going to also select a provider. The provider, it works as it does in medical home and in other places where you select a provider. All you have to do is enter the last name of the provider and either hit Enter or click Find to select your provider. And your provider results screen shows right below the list of all the providers based on the last name. So I'm just going to go ahead and select the first provider. And as you can see, if you move your pop-up window, they're displaying as you select them over here on the actual Edit Correspondence screen. Now below allows you to enter other addresses that fall outside of these options here. This is your free text addressee. And if you wanted to identify the other addressee by a specific title, you can also go ahead and select off of here. This is not a required field, but it does allow you to identify the type of other addressee if you choose. In this case, for sake of time, we will not be showing you that feature, but if you want to play around with that, you are more than welcome to go into the training environment and play around with that option. Go ahead, I'm going to go ahead and click on Continue, and it will populate both the county and the provider that I selected from the correspondence screen, the carbon copy screen. The other option that I wanted to mention that isn't showing here is there will be, for letters that allow free text, so the application letter does not, but some of the pending eligibility letters do, you will have the option to put free text in the letter. Okay, so you'll have a field pop up here that says, allows you to enter free text. In this case, because the application letter does not, it does not even give you that option. Now we have another field called Comments. Comments behaves very similar to the comments fields in our current legacy system, whereas you enter a comment in here, it does not display on the letter, but is associated to the letter. So if you enter a comment, every time you come back into this edit screen, it will show. And if you choose, it will show also in the sent case note. So for every sent correspondence, there will be an automatic case note that is applied to the record. This is without human intervention. It will automatically show up in the records of the client. For all sent letters and for all canceled letters. For anything other than that, they're considered or not quite completed yet, therefore there will not be a case note associated to those. If you choose to put one in, you could, through either going through the case notes module or entering it through the branch menus through your narrative options. So there are other ways to do it, just not automatically. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and click on save and print. If I was to click on save, it would be changed to a status of ready to send. If I click on this, it will be a sent letter. If I delete it, obviously it will have a watermark and it would be a deleted letter. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and click on save and print. And there is my application letter. And if you're following along in the manual, I'm on page 27. Now, as you can see, we are now going to have a title of the letter saying the original, that this is the original letter that is going out. As you scroll down further, it tells you who the courtesy copies are to. And then you will see the rest of the application, and you will see the courtesy copy with the new label, courtesy copy, with the address to the new courtesy copy, with the original text that was sent to the originator. Okay? And then the second one is to the county office that I selected through my courtesy copy option. Okay? So once you've printed that, you can go ahead and close your pop-up window, and it will take you back to your search screen. So that is how you generate a series letter. Now, what I'd like to show you is how to generate a miscellaneous letter. This is on section 4 of your manual. And how you would do that is you would come to your search screen, you would enter your patient, and you would click on Create Miscellaneous Letters. Now, when you're creating a miscellaneous letter, it's only going to allow you to select one patient at a time. So if you have multiple patients selected under your client search option, it's going to tell you if you have multiple clients checked. So if I was to do this, and I was to have both of these checked, and I clicked on Create Miscellaneous Letter, it's going to tell me, please select a single client. So it pretty much is foolproof there. I'm going to go ahead and remove that client, and I'm going to go ahead and click on Create Miscellaneous Letter. And again, you should recognize this screen. This is your Edit Correspondence screen. Again, it has the header of all the client information. And down below, it's enabled the correspondence field. And then it will show all of your miscellaneous correspondence. Now, miscellaneous correspondence are all letters that are not associated to an action. So these are not your NOAAs, these are not your series letters, these are strictly letters that can be generated at any point in time. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and generate a HIPAA letter. And it shows my addressee. And then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to select Add Edit for my courtesy copy. Go ahead and select my county. Close my pop-up screen, and my county should display under Courtesy Copy History. In this case, I'm not going to add any comments. And again, this letter does not allow me to send any free text or add any free text, so the free text option did not appear. I'm going to click on Save and Print. And here is my NPP letter. Okay. And this is several pages, so one of the things we're going to be changing with this is that this letter does not allow you to send carbon copies for this letter, and we actually were allowed to select carbon copies. We're going to be changing that within the next few weeks to to disallow you to select carbon copies. So I'm going to go ahead and close the pop-up screen. And that, you just generated your first miscellaneous letter. Okay. The next section we are going to be covering is SAR NOAAs. In order to generate, you would generate an authorization the way you currently do today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and click on, hover over the CCS modules and click on authorizations. I would select my patient as I do today. Click on search. I'm going to view all SARs to select the SAR that I'd like to cancel. I'm going to show you how to generate a NOAA through canceling a SAR. I'm going to select my authorization as I do today. There's my authorized SAR under the View SAR screen. And I'm going to click on Cancel. Now, this is where you're going to start seeing the changes. On page 34 is where you're going to see the major changes. You will see that there's no longer radio buttons. There are no longer radio buttons because only NOAAs can be generated for SARs now, for canceled SARs. For denied requests, there will be the ability to generate a cancellation letter if it was because the provider refused to provide service, and you would get that cancellation letter based on the option, the reason for denial option that you select. In this case, for the training, you will see that there are going to be brand new denial reasons for selection, and a nice feature is now when you select a reason, you will see the description of what the reason is that you selected. In addition, it will automatically associate the correct citation or citations with your reason. It's a brand new feature. Let's go ahead and enter our effective date as we would today. Your cancellation letter text works as it does today, where you can enter free text in here, or you can select from your special instructions. The other feature now is it will automatically select if the client has healthy families or managed care, the managed care plans and the healthy family plans to send a carbon copy of the NOAA to. Now, with this, we realized after we got done training that a lot of counties use EDI to do that, to finish that process. So what we are going to put here is we're going to have little X's over beside here so that you can just remove them if you choose. If your healthy family plans or your managed care plans do not accept EDI, then you can generate those letters, those copies of the NOAA through here. Okay, that feature has not been put into our training environment yet. It is actually working in the test environment at this time. Okay. Again, if you wanted to add additional carbon copies, in addition to that, it also automatically gives a carbon copy to the provider of the SAR. And if I wanted to add additional carbon copies, I could click on Add Edit. And I could add additional carbons if I choose, carbon copies. Now, one of the other things that I wanted to explain was that you're seeing multiple of the same plans in here. And the reason why you're seeing multiple is the client, if a client has multiple plans on their healthy family screen or on their managed care screen, it means that they have not contacted the help desk to terminate the previous periods. So they need to clean up their healthy family screens in order for the duplicates not to show on the distribution. Okay. So let's go ahead and click on Cancel SAR. Again, it shows your case note details as it does today. And if you entered text in the narrative box here and you click Save, it will save the additional narrative. If you click on Continue, it will just save the automatic narrative without any additional text. In this case, we're going to go ahead and click on Continue. And here is the new NOAA. This is the new Family Voices NOAA. You will see now that the text is different within the NOAA. It will show your effective date as it did before, your service authorization number, the service begin and end date, the reason and citation will display. It will show you the services requested, and it tells you that they have the right to appeal. And it shows you your CCs. Again, we are still working on our CCs for these letters, so these won't all show. Here's your right to appeal, or how to appeal, and here's your courtesy copies. Now, when I close my pop-up screen, what's going to happen is it's going to take me right back to the SAR system. You didn't see this, but behind the scenes, it actually took me over to the correspondence to generate the NOAA, and then it brought me back to the SAR system to actually view the canceled SAR. Okay. So that is how you generate a NOAA. And if you were to generate a denied request, it works exactly the same way. Now we are going to jump to page 40, modifying existing letters. What I'm going to show you how to do is take an incomplete letter and edit it. And then I'm going to show you how to delete an incomplete letter. And then I'm going to show you how to cancel a sent letter. So what I need to do is go back into my legacy system. I'm going to go back to application status, and I'm going to generate my second letter in the series. Select second letter, hit, and as you can see, the history is all retained, and I didn't mention that earlier, but the history is going to be exactly as it is today. It's going to continue to show as it does today, and the ticklers will still be set as they are today. So that is actually going to work exactly as it is today, so that's nothing new that you have to learn there. So if you hit F2, select Save, and it will give me my message saying you got to finish this in correspondence. Hit Enter. I'm going to minimize this screen. I'm going to click on my home page, and again, there is my incomplete letter. I click on my incomplete letter. I go into the letter itself, and essentially what this screen is today in Legacy, when you go in there and you click on Save, it takes you to the Edit Correspondence screen in Legacy. This is basically the Edit Correspondence screen that you used to see or you currently see in Legacy. This is what's coming over to the web. So it tells you the letter that I generated, the second letter. Here's my addressee. If I wanted to edit it and I had a free text option here, I could edit my free text. I can edit my my carbon copies. I'm going to add regional office. I can add the comments that are not included in the letter. And that is how I would edit an incomplete letter. So I'm going to go ahead and just click on Save, and this will be now a ready-to-send letter. It will not be incomplete anymore. It will be ready to send, which means it has not been printed yet. Okay? So now what I'm going to show you how to do is I'm going to show you how to delete a letter that is still considered not completed. And you can delete an incomplete letter, a ready-to-send letter, or waiting for my approval. Those are the only three letters that you can delete. So I'm going to go ahead and click on my ready to send. There's my application letter, ready to send because I just saved it and I didn't print it. And it's not displaying. We've been having a little problem with preview screen. But you can see is it's ready to send, and then I'm going to click on delete letter. Asks me, do you want to delete letter? I'm going to say okay. And then it deleted my letter that you couldn't see. I apologize about that. We're working on the preview screen. We're going to be going straight. Right now we have a preview screen that you can see the data related to the letter on this screen. But then when you click on it to print, it actually shows you in PDF, which is actually what the letter looks like. The preview screen is just the HTML, and we're going to be removing that screen altogether. That's something that we're working on right now. Okay, so let's go ahead and click on the back button. Now, as you can see, the status hasn't changed, but it will be changing. We are working on that as well. The routing, we need to tighten that up a little bit. Okay, so let's go back to our home page. And as you can see, it's no longer in ready to send status. So if I wanted to find that letter, I would click on my correspondence option, and I want to see that letter. I'd go down, I'd select delete it. I'd take off my sent letters, search for existing letters, and it would show this is my second letter that I've deleted. Okay, now let's go back to my search screen. And now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and search for my sent letters. So I'm going to go back to my advanced search options. I'm going to unclick deleted, and I'm going to click on sent. And I'm going to search for all the sent letters by this client. And here are all the letters that I have sent on this client. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cancel this letter. Here's the letter. Where's my cancel? Let's pick another letter. This one's not giving me. That is. This letter. First. Okay, I grabbed the wrong letter. Unfortunately, for some reason, our preview screen's not showing. A trainer's worst nightmare. Okay, click, and then you click on Cancel Letter. Asks you if you want to cancel it. You say OK. And if you could view the letter, it would have a cancellation mark. Let's click on Print to see if it shows up. No, you would see a cancellation watermark at the top of the screen that says canceled letter, and it would give the effective date of the cancellation effective date at the top of the screen. Unfortunately, it's not working real well here in training, so I apologize. All right, so that is how you cancel a letter that has been sent. So now we have shown you how to edit existing, incomplete, or ready to send letter. We have shown you how to delete and how to cancel a letter. Not very well, but we did show you. So now the next step that we're going to take you to is how to approve a letter. So the first thing that you have to do as to set up an approval process for your county is you have to go in as a system administrator. You have to call the help desk and ask the state system administrator or your county system administrator to set up the approvers for your county. And they would do this by clicking on under Administration, User Management, User Security. They click on User Security. They would enter the last name of the person that they want to set up as an approver. So in this case, I'm going to use Tracy Corda. I would click on the user's name, and then you will see a new tab called Correspondence. Click on the Correspondence tab, and you will see these are the letters that Tracy can be assigned as an approver. In this case, I'm going to give her full authority. I click on all of the letters. I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to click Save. And essentially what that does is that for every person that generates one of these letters for her county, it will be routed for her for approval. So I'm going to go in now as myself, and I'm going to generate a letter, a free text letter that will be routed to her for her approval. Okay, so I'm going to go into Correspondence. I've got my client set up here. I'm going to create a miscellaneous letter. I'm going to scroll down and select a free text letter and see free text, how the free text box is allowed, because this obviously requires free text. Okay. If I wanted to, I could add carbon copies, and the initiator has the ability to add comments. Here is Tracy that I set up as an approver. I'm going to click on her name. This is very similar to how it used to be in the SAR system in collecting carbon or selecting carbon copies or distribution. And then I click on Send for Approval. And what it tells me is this letter has been sent for approval. And then I'm going to go ahead and log in as Tracy. So I have to log out of here. I'm going to log in as Tracy. Okay, so now I'm in as Tracy, and it shows that there are 3 letters waiting for my approval. I'm going to go ahead and click on the letters waiting for my approval, and we have a problem again with the numbering, so we'll work on that. But here's the letter that I just generated today. I'm going to click on the letter. I'm in here as Tracy, and then I have the ability, again, the previous screen, there we go. Whew. Yay. Shows the free text I entered. Here's the comments that are from my initiator. It says waiting for approval. If I click on edit, it allows me to edit by adding my comments. And we're going to be changing the design a little bit. This save and print will automatically do the same thing that approve does, but right now it works a little differently. So I'm going to go ahead and click back. I was just kind of showing you how the edit works, the edit screen works. So I'm going to click back and scroll down, click on Approve Letter. Tells me that the letter has been approved and the letter is ready to print. Now, we identified yesterday that the letter isn't being routed back to the originator, and we are working on that right now. We had a meeting yesterday to discuss that with our developers, and they're working on that process right now. In fact, I think they're already working on it and ready for us to start testing it and system tests. But basically, right now in the training environment, it's not routing it back, so we're working on that. So I'm going to go ahead and log out. Well, let's just show you what it looks like when it's ready to. It should show in my ready to send. As the originator, it should show in my ready to send, but it's not currently doing that. So I'll show you what it looks like. It's showing in Tracy's ready to send, and it shouldn't show there. So we're working on that. Okay? And then she could pull up the letter, or I could pull up the letter to print. That's not the right button. Okay, let's check this out here. Okay, well, that's not working correctly, so we definitely have a problem that we need to work on there. But so anyway, we've got to tighten that approval process up. But at this point, we only have 2 counties, and we'll be piloting it with them first to make sure that we work out all the bugs before we identify other counties that are interested in using it. So with that being said, what I would like to do is I would like to open up the lines to everybody for questions and answers. What I'd like you to do is use the feature on your webinar that allows you to put a little hand sign up stating that you want to ask a question. That way people aren't talking over one another. So if we have any questions, please feel free to use your hand option on the webinar, and I will select you and unmute you to be able to ask your question to the group. And so far I'm not seeing any hands. I see a hand. Charlotte Triggs, I'm going to go ahead and click and unmute you. Charlotte, are you there? Okay. Hi, Charlotte. You're cutting out.
One of my coworkers has a question, which is about the NOAs.
Yes. The question is?
Yeah. Well, are we able to? Go around and edit it NOA. Oh, can we edit a NOA if we have typos before we send it for approval?
The question about editing an NOA, the template will not be able to be editable, just the free text within the NOA can be edited.
The free text, okay. We were asking about, okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay. I'm going to remute you, okay? Do you have any other questions, Charlotte?
One more about the NOAA. Can we retrieve a NOAA and edit the free text after it's been sent?
The answer is no. You will have to reissue that NOAA.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, wait a minute.
Any other questions?
More.
Charlotte?
Oh, print a NOAA.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we could print a letter. Oh, can we print a NOAA that's already been sent?
Yes, you can.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Charlotte. Okay. Siri Mansfield? You have a question? Ventura County. You have a question?
Yes, we do. Why do we have to start the application process in Legacy?
The reason why we have to start all of the processes that are currently in place in Legacy is because they are tied to so many other features within the system, such as the ticklers, the history. In eligibility, it's tied to your information that goes over to meds. It's tied to a lot of different things. So we can't just take the whole feature out because it's got to start there because everything's so intertwined.
I have one more question. Does
Yes.
help plan at any time to add spell check into all of the free text areas?
We are looking into that. We actually have a change request submitted for that, and we will be looking into that in the future.
Is there going to be a transitioning tickler developed?
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't understand the question.
Transitioning for 21, for transitioning out of the system.
Oh, you want to have a transition letter?
A tickler.
Tickler. Oh, well, yeah, we don't, well, you know, we don't currently have one, but you can certainly submit a request for one.
All right, thank you.
Sure. Okay. Catherine Keeley, Sacramento County.
Hi, Julie.
Hi.
We have a question. Hi. Will our providers be able to view the NOAAs electronically?
You'll be able to view the SAR ones now. We are working on an enhancement to allow them to see case management, referral, NOAAs.
I don't think it's an enhancement you're working on. They can't
The
now.
SAR NOAAs, right.
What question? Okay, that was it. Thank you, Julie.
Thank you. If there's no more questions, that will conclude. Was there one? Oh, here's a hand. Hold on. Charlotte Triggs, Alameda County, did you have another question?
Yes, nothing was said about FD letters. Are those going to go through the web also?
Yes, they will.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Leticia Fernandez.
Hi,
Julie.
Julie. Can you hear me?
Hi. Yes.
What's your question?
I'm sorry. That's okay.
For the what? You know the process that you showed us for the NOAAs?
Yeah.
Do we also use that same process for the residential and financial NOAAs?
The residential and financial NOAAs will still be generated out of the legacy as they are today, but printed, they're going to start as an incomplete letter in the legacy and finished in the web.
Oh, okay. So we still use the legacy the way we generate now.
Yeah, but you'll have to finish it in the web. So anything generated out of the legacy will start in the legacy, but it will always finish in the web. You'll save and print it through the web.
Okay. One more.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay, denial letters. Is it possible when we create a denial letter, can we attach that and email it to, say, one of our local hospitals?
No.
No?
No. Sorry.
Okay.
The mailing system, the web messaging system, is only internal to CMS.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Thanks, Leticia. Let's see if we have. Oh, got a hand. Elizabeth. Elizabeth, how can we help you?
Yes, this is Juliet. My question is on the cancellation of the SARS. We used to have the option of letter or NOAA. It's my understanding that we only have the option of a NOAA now. Is that correct?
That is correct.
But the vendors are not entitled to any appeal rights. The parent is the only one who has appeal rights. And the letters...
The carbon copies will not be CC'd to anybody but the family.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So how is the vendor aware that we've canceled services?
There is a cease the vendor as far as who the SARS generated to. You can they get a carbon copy of the NOAA, but they don't get the appeal right letter saying that.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Brandon, do you have a question? Brandon Elliott from Santa Barbara. Hi, Elliott.
Is the letter going to be available in Spanish?
They are. All the letters that are available in Spanish today will continue to be in Spanish as well.
It's not currently available. Will the closing letter be available in Spanish?
The closing letter. I don't know which letter you're referring to.
Case closing letter.
MC2134.
MC2134.
Oh, MC 31. Oh, is that currently in Spanish?
No.
If it isn't in Spanish, we can put it as a request to have it translated in Spanish.
That would be great. Thank you.
Okay. Barbara Gardner, did you have a question?
Yes, thanks. When you've denied a request and it goes through the NOAA process, what does it look like on the list of SARS for the patient? Does it still say denied? So if someone's looking in PIP, they see it's a denied request, or?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Julie. Dr. Cadiz has a question for you.
Yes.
It might be more of a request. We have the EPSDC denial letter as a template that came with the numbered letter, and we certainly hope that that will be also included in the system as something that we could generate.
An EPSDT denial letter, you say?
Yes.
You can certainly submit a request for that. We'd definitely be happy to consider that request.
Thank you. Would do.
Okay.
Thank you, Julie.
Any other questions?
Any other questions? I think that's it.
Okay. Thank you. Pat, you have a question. Pat Howard from Napa.
Actually, it's Chris, but we were wondering about medical records. You started in Legacy and then request for medical records, and then it goes to the web to finish it, or do you start and finish in Legacy the request for medical records?
The request for medical records starts in the Legacy and does finish in the web.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions, Chris?
No other questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh. It comes up and then it goes away. Somebody's raising their hand and taking it down. Raising their hand, taking it down. I can't catch up to them. Okay, Barbara. What can I help you? Barbara Gardner?
Oh, I already asked my question. Thanks. I'll fix my hand.
All right, then. Oh. All right. I think that is all the questions for today. Remember that this has been recorded, So if you want a copy of it for your county, you can contact the help desk and we can help you with that. And in addition, please remember to complete your evaluation form so that we can utilize it for the next webinar session that we will have for future enhancements. Thank you for your time and enjoy your day. Bye.